Which AT support weapon is the best? Each has their strengths and weaknesses and fills different niches and loadouts. So like a proud Papa Bird, I will chew each of them up and give y'all all the info you need to use AT weapons like an expert. My name is Commissar Kai, and today I'll be your AT weapon sommelier. We'll start off with the elephant in the room. The Recoilless Rifle. I'm sure many of y'all expect this to be the best option out of all our AT choices, but best is ultimately relative to your goals as a Helldiver, which is why I hate tier lists. Here's a handy chart to give y'all a quick overview of what I mean. As you can see, the Recoilless Rifle does have some downsides that are not shared with some of our other AT weapons, but if you value firepower over mobility or a little extra security, then the Recoilless Rifle might be the right tool for you. The Recoilless Rifle comes with 6 total rounds and a 2-stage reload, meaning you can cancel the animation for the reload to speed up the process. The way it works is you can yoink the shell out the back, move to cancel the animation, slot another round in, and move again once you see this icon go from red to gray. Doing this takes a little bit of practice, but it will drastically increase your ability to lob shells downrange. You can also have a buddy give you a team reload for undoubtedly the strongest burst of directed anti-tank fire in the entire game. Well, only if you're good at aiming anyway.
Hold on, I'm gonna make this guy disappear. I missed.
It's okay, nobody saw that.
The Recoilless Rifle also comes with 2 fire modes. We have heat rounds, or high explosive anti-tank, which is your standard screw that guy in particular round. This round does 3,200 damage at AP 6, all of which is durable damage. So the round will do that massive 3.2 thousand damage regardless of whether you're blasting a factory strider in the face or ruining an Alpha Commander's day. It can also easily destroy objectives like anti-air emplacements, shrieker nests, and the illegal yapping. It has 0 explosive damage, so it will only do damage on a direct impact with the target. But it does have a second fire mode, which I am sure almost none of you are using. That being the HE rounds, or high explosive rounds.
Hey Kai, you want to do something really funny?
Yes! HE rounds!
Are you ready?
Wait for the ping to go away. I'm gonna turn off my hood. Alright, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Have you ever been on a bot front mission with a Recoilless Rifle? Turn a corner and there's a whole patrol of Devastators staring at you like a communist in a breadline? Well, have no fear. One HE shell and most of them will embrace the light of liberty straight away. HE shells do 750 damage on direct impact at AP 5, and a further 800 explosive damage at AP 4 in a 3-meter radius around the target, with that damage tapering off fully at 7.5 meters. This makes it great at blasting tightly packed groups of medium armored enemies. It'll still damage the bigger targets, but make sure you're using the right fire mode for the right targets for maximum effect. The Recoilless Rifle does have a few downsides, like I mentioned earlier. Its reload animation is kinda long. Animation canceling certainly helps, but there are faster options available. It only comes with 6 rounds in total, so you will be running out frequently, and it requires a backpack slot. So if you like running hover packs or keeping your squad topped off with supplies, then it's not the best AT option for you. But if you want to be the dedicated anti-giant freak specialist, then the Recoilless Rifle might be the right weapon for you. I don't want to make this video too long since we have 4 more dang AT weapons to go through, so here's a quick montage of all the breakpoints for the heat rounds versus all the big guys. Maybe the bots aren't so bad.
Squad lost. Deploying full replacement.
Quick editor note, the Recoilless Rifle and the Commando are the only AT weapons in the game that can kill a factory strider without reloading, by shooting the dog in the dogs. 1 Recoilless Rifle heat shell or 3 Commando rockets can take down the biggest enemy in the game by shooting it in the beans. Who would have thought? Before we move on, I'll leave y'all with a couple of example loadouts to support your Recoilless Rifle. Whether your chosen prey is bots, bugs, or useless garbage, you'll want to grab a primary that can handle close-in work while your Recoilless Rifle picks off those big targets. On bots, that means weapons like the R63, Diligence Counter Sniper, Purifier, Plasma Punisher, or the Jar 5 Dominator. You can handle packs of enemies with your HE rounds and stratagems, so your primary should be well suited for picking off isolated targets or for laying down suppressing fire. Bring a couple of sentries and an orbital napalm barrage, and you'll be able to handle any target and any situation. For bugs, it's the same principle. We want stuff that can stand in front of us and mow down the hordes while we snipe out the chargers, titans, and impalers. So we'll want a primary like the Liberator Carbine, Punisher Shotgun, Cookout, or the Arc Blitzer to keep space between us and the bugs. We'll pair these with the Tesla Tower and gas mines for keeping the bugs' attention, and Randy the Rocket Sentry to supplement our own rocket barrage. For squids, well, y'all should know my feelings on them. Come at me, you cowards! Bring your full might and be judged in the light of democracy. But for those of you that are struggling against them, here's what you do. Take a primary focused on the packs of Voteless and taking down shields. So the Liberator variants, Adjudicator, or the Breaker Spray and Pray. These weapons can all kill an Overseer if needed, but they will do great at breaking up the crowds and smacking down shields. Bring the MG and Gatlin sentries for anti-flying calamari duty, and round out the build with gas mines to stop the hordes from getting to your sentries. Finally, we're done talking about the Recoilless Rifle. Moving on to the next AT option, all of which are much more simple to explain. This one is the red-headed stepchild of Liberty. If that child could snap a charger over its knee. Underappreciated and underloved by the community, the spear hardly ever gets used anymore. This might have to do with the dang lock-on not always working, but sweet Liberty, when it works, it works. The spear does the most damage out of any support weapon in the game at 4,000 damage, and it has an armor penetration value of 7, which is the highest that I could find. Yes, more so than the railgun, I checked. So if you're in the market for a weapon that can one-tap a Titan without hitting it in the head, or you just have a burning hatred of gun towers, then the FAF-Spear might be the one for you. The only real limitations for this weapon are its firing arc, which makes it real difficult to hit targets that are too close to you, and its ammo count, only coming with 4 total rockets before needing a resupply. You can have a buddy team reload you, but the backpack only carrying 3 rounds before needing a resupply means it's rarely worth it to do so. But its primary strengths are its range, raw damage, and the ability to fire and forget. So if you suck at hitting weak points, then the spear has your back. Because the spear really wants to operate at range, I find it to work best on the bot front. It basically completely nullifies the cannon towers, can 3-tap a factory strider from any range, and will easily take out any other armor. So it's ideally suited for enemies that will not rush you down and eat you. It can also destroy bot fabricators, and it can destroy bug holes as well, but it's kind of difficult to land a shot on one, which just furthers its preference for liberating communists. The breakpoints for the spear are easy. If it's a factory strider, it takes 3 hits. If it's anything else, it takes 1. Impalers might sometimes survive a direct hit, but if they do, they'll be on like 1 HP, since they have 4,000 health and the spear does 4,000 damage. Just be careful of these stupid jerks, since the spear cannot lock onto them for some reason. Command, please fix this. Alright, here's some example loadouts for y'all. For bots, take a primary like the Purifier, or, oh god, the Explosive Crossbow, to shore up your weaknesses against packs of medium armor. Sentries to watch your back while you hog the resupply, and a big boom like the Orbital Napalm Barrage. Yes, this does hurt bots. I don't know where that particular myth came from, but robots do not like being set on fire. On bugs, take a primary with either a high rate of fire or a lot of stagger to keep the Gribblies from nibbling at your bits. And AoE stratagems to clear the field while your spear dunks titans from downtown. You'll also need the grenade pistol for closing bug holes, since the spear can't really do it effectively. For the squid front, I wouldn't really recommend the spear. It's only able to target 2 things: harvesters and their spawners, which I'm not even sure it can take out without bringing down the shield first. I would test this for y'all, but at the time of recording, we already killed all the squids on the map, so I can't check. If you know if the spear can crack a clam through its shield, let me know in the comments. But if you are a die-hard calamari enthusiast, bring something like this. You'll want a primary to deal with the Voteless, and stratagems to handle everything else, so large AoEs mixed with mines and sentries. Now we can move on to the disposable anti-tank options. So our kindred spirits and weaponry. In this category, we have both the EAT-17, aka the Eat It, and the MLS-4X Commando. That one was hard to say. Both are disposable, so once they've been fired, you'll dump them on the ground for the Seaf Grunts to clean up. These are probably the best team play options for anti-tank, since both have very low cooldowns, with the EAT at 57 seconds when you're fully upgraded, and the Commando at 100 seconds fully upgraded, so you can easily hand them off to your teammates. The Commando does less damage at 1100 per rocket, with an AP value of 6 AP6, but it comes with 4 shots to compensate, while the EAT comes with 2 launchers, each doing 2,000 damage at AP6. Both are solid AT options if you prefer running a backpack like a guard dog, supply pack, or the jump pack, but you still want to be able to tackle the occasional Bile Titan or tank. The Commando is a little bit more versatile since its rockets are laser guided, meaning you can curve the shots inside of spawners or hit that eye shot on a Hulk to take them down in just one hit. But both fill the same role and are mostly interchangeable. These options really shine in team play situations since you can easily split off with a jetpack and handle high priority objectives by yourself, or you can go full support mode and leave anti-tank littering the map while keeping your team topped off with a supply pack. For breakpoints, I had my buddy Speed make this handy chart for y'all to reference in your games. The low number is the number of shots it takes to take down an enemy if you hit them in their weak spot, where the high number is the panic number for when you just need something dead and you don't feel like aiming. Here's some example loadouts for the Commando and EATs. Ammo-hungry primaries are much more viable when using disposable anti-tanks since we can bring a supply pack or a guard dog to supplement them. But we'll want to bring thermite grenades and another way to close spawners since we have to rely on the cooldown of our support weapon rather than just being able to pick up ammo off the ground or call in a resupply. On bots, the Commando is a little bit more versatile since it can handle a Hulk with just 1 eye shot or 2 body shots, while still being able to break fabricators. While EATs are a bit more reliable on bugs, especially since you can use the Hell Pod the EATs arrive in as a weapon. You can do this on bots too, it's just easier when the enemy's running at you. Finally, we have the LAS-99 Quasar cannon. This weapon is unique from other AT options because it uses a heat sink for ammo rather than physical munitions. It has a charge up time of 3 seconds before shooting off a blast of energy which does 2,000 damage, the same as an EAT. The shot also has an insanely fast travel time and is not affected by gravity, making it great for taking down things like gunships or easily nailing long-range shots. Once fired, you're looking at a 15-second cooldown time before you can fire off another shot. This cooldown is affected by weather modifiers, speeding up on cold planets and slowing down on hot ones, so the planet you choose to fight on will impact the performance of the weapon a little bit. The only real downsides of the Quasar cannon are the charge time and cooldown. The 3-second charge time means it's difficult to fire off a round while being pressured, while the longer cooldown means missing your shot or dealing with multiple armored targets at once is much more punishing compared to something like the Recoilless Rifle. It also lacks an AoE fire mode, meaning this weapon is only useful within its niche as an AT weapon. It's not necessarily a downside, but it is worth mentioning. But because it don't require a backpack slot, you can mitigate some of these challenges by pairing it with a jetpack or a hover pack to quickly reposition after firing off your shot. The breakpoints are the same as the EAT since they share the same damage numbers, but here's the graph again if you want a reference for how many times you'll need to blast something in the face. With regards to loadouts, the Quasar is probably the most versatile AT weapon, being both ammoless and not requiring a backpack slot. But because it does have a cooldown and a charge time, we will want some extra anti-tank in our loadout to rely on in those clutch situations where we need a bunch of armor dead in a hurry. On bots, consider running something like this for a hit and run playstyle. The jetpack and smoke grenades will let us hop in and out of combat while putting a lot of hurt on the clankers, and our eagle strafing runs and orbital barrage will help us deal with big packs of enemies. For primaries, you'll want something that can handle medium armor since the Quasar is abysmally bad at handling devastator-sized threats. For the bug front, pairing it with the jump pack or the hover pack will help you keep space between you and embracing a life of fertilizer. Stratagems like the MG Sentry and the orbital napalm barrage will help keep the field clear while you line up those shots on the big bugs. I'd also recommend using the eruptor paired with the bushwhacker shotgun for handling groups of enemies and to close bug holes. On the Illuminate side, just don't bring it. The charge up time really struggles against this faction due to their recharge and energy shields and the hordes of voteless and flying overseers pressuring you from all sides. So just take one of the other options against this faction, it's just not worth it. Hopefully by now I've answered the question in the title of this video. The Recoilless Rifle is the best all-rounder AT weapon, the Commando and EAT are the best for team play, the Spear is the hardest hitter, and the Quasar has the most longevity. Ultimately, the best AT weapon is the one that fits your playstyle the most. So until next time, this is Commissar Kai, signing out.